Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Figs Outside. So today I'm going to be installing an S&B cold air intake on my 2005 Dodge. This intake is for 2003 to 2007. They got awesome instructions on their website, or you can scan the little bar, the little code thing, and it'll pop up on your phone. But anyway, so it seems to be pretty simple. Shouldn't take very long. Yeah, shouldn't take very long at all. So anyway, here it is. So there it is, the S&B filter. Whoops, sorry, my bad. So let's take this thing down. There's a lot of parts in this box. Don't let it intimidate you. Like I said, they got really good instructions on their website. Some of the best instructions I've ever seen, actually. So here's the intake tube. That's this piece right here. This also has the spot for the plug, which I believe is labeled. Well, there it is. That's the plug. This is for this piece right here. I forget what they call it right now. It's not an MIT plug. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So that's what it is. So that's what that is for. There's the tube. Here's the air box. The filter is inside. Here is the clear lid that goes on the top. And what's really cool with these filters is they don't use rubber, they use silicone, so you're gonna get a better seal. It's gonna last longer. Here's the parts and the pieces. It's got 2 hose clamps, some nuts and bolts. This is a silicone ring. This part is what hooks to the turbo. This part looks like it's for the filter. Have to see what that one's for. Might be the top of the box on the side, maybe. I don't know. We'll have to check it out. And this right here is the plate. That's what those bolts and nuts are for. Is it bolts to the bottom of the box, the air box, which is right here. And so it actually bolts to that. See, it's actually, yeah. So it actually gives it a little lift, and they say it gives you more air. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out. But anyway, that's it in a nutshell. So we're going to disconnect the battery cables. You need to disconnect the negatives first, both sides, since this is a diesel. So what that does, it says on the website that you need to disconnect it for a minimal of 2 hours. That's totally fine. It's kind of in the evening right now. I'll probably let it sit overnight. But anyway, what that does, it resets the computer so that when you do fire the truck up, it's going to be drawing a lot more air, and it doesn't send an error code to the computer like you aren't running an air box or something. So anyway, it's a safety feature. But anyway, you need to disconnect the negative battery cables and be sure they don't touch again. So you put them on the side, put a little piece of plastic bag over them, wrap them in electric tape, whatever. And then, yeah, so I'm going to get that going. I'm going to disconnect that, and then we'll go over some of the other stuff too. All right, here we go. All right, y'all. So what you got to do first is I already disconnected the battery cables. I wrapped that one in paper. That's pretty fancy, huh? A little redneckish, but whatever. So got those disconnected. You're going to need a 10 millimeter socket right there, either quarter or 3/8 drive. And then you're going to need a 7 millimeter or a T20 Torx bit, which is the little star bit for these right here. Or you can use, I believe, the 7 mil for that also. Yep. So this, you either need 7 mil for the hose clamps, which are right here, and you have a couple of them, or you need a flathead screwdriver. And so you have a hose clamp here, and you got one down there. Let's see, right down there on the turbo. So the first thing though is you're going to want to disconnect this, which there's a little tab. You push that down. This will disconnect. Pull it out of the the intake tube right here. And so you're going to want to pull that out. Then remove the 10 millimeter nut that holds it to the frame. Slide that piece off. Lift the whole air box out. That's going to be your first step. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like when you're done. And then the next step is going to be to remove the tube that goes down to the turbo, and that's pretty simple as well. Okay, here we go. All right, also here's what it looks like. Remove the 10 millimeter nut. So when you lift the air box out, one thing I forgot to mention earlier, so I'll do it now, is there's two little prongs. So watch the hose. These are your coolant hoses. So watch those, make sure they don't hang up and you don't rip them off or poke a hole in them. But it's got two little plugs that snap into here and it gives you access to this. So this will remove pretty easy. I already loosened up the hose clamp down below, so it's ready to come off the turbo. And be sure you do this when your truck is cool or cold. Don't do it while it's been hot and you've been running it. So anyway, so next I'll be sliding that piece off. I don't know, might be able to do it now. Actually, might be able to do it now. Kind of a tight fit. Yeah, because the oil filter is right in the way. There's the oil filter right down there. But kind of hard to do with one hand. But anyway, so I'm going to slide this off. Yeah, I'm going to have to use both hands. Get back here in a second. Okay, so got it removed. There's your turbo. You can see the turbo fins, inlet. Now this is the time if you want to hear your turbo whistle a little bit more, especially since you're adding a cold air intake. There's a little ring that goes on there, and that's called the turbo ring. It's the I can't even talk right. But yeah, some people call it a whistle ring. Some people call it a whistle washer. No, it's turbo ring. Helps to some people say it helps to condense the air more into the middle of the turbo. You get better spool up. I haven't noticed that. This is all stock. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, when you remove it, it opens up the hole a little more. So to me, it makes sense that you get more airflow. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, so got that removed. So now going to get the intake tube here. So the piece that has that plug. So also what you're going to want to do, forgot to tell you guys this, is be careful with this, because this plug is the plug that you undid, and that is what goes into that intake tube. So what you're going to want to do, get this tube. I'm going to do that at the end, just so I don't bump it or booger it up. But I'm going to get this tube, get this ring, plus the new hose clamps. I'm going to put them on there. And then I'm going to install that onto the turbo, and then we'll move on from there. All right, y'all. So got the silicone adapter, the hose clamps on here. You don't want to tighten this down yet, because when you put it in there, you're going to want to move the hose clamps, or you can try to do it by eye, but you're going to want to move them to a position where you can get them. So with this, you don't want to set that all the way in. So there's no ring inside here, but there's these little ridges that's going to go into the middle of the tube or onto the turbo seal. And so right here, though, there's a little bitty lip. So you want to line up that silicone adapter to the lip. And then when you install that, that's what you're going to want to do. So with that, I'm going to just show you guys this right here, right now. Sorry about that. There's a silicone seal. Here we go. So here's the air box, as I'm grinding it onto the concrete. So here's the air box, and that's where the intake tube is going to slide into. And so this silicone seal, which is this piece right here, the round piece, and it's got a little lip, provided really nice Ziploc bags too, so that's pretty sweet. You don't have to sit there and cut them open or tear them open unless you want to, but it's got a nice little lip, and that's going to snap in right here. And that's where, like I said, the intake tube is going to seal itself. This is going to be pretty tight fitting, but it's going to slide into there. And then your filter is going to sit, and then the filter also has a hose clamp on it. And so you'll slide that over, tighten the hose clamp. But yeah, anywho. So what I am going to do, like I said, is I'm going to slide that intake tube on to the turbo. And you want to be sure that there's no debris in here too. They say that from the factory, they blow it out, but still, because it is what it is, the nature of things, sometimes dirt or something else can get in there. So you want to be sure that's clean. And then, yeah, I'm going to get onto the turbo, get that set up. I am going to remove, it's the IAT sensor. That's what it is. It just came to me. So I'm going to remove that IAT sensor, and I'm going to install it. And this company is also pretty awesome, since they also give you a gasket for it, which is right here. Get in there. There it is. So that's the gasket for the plug. So that's pretty sweet that they give you a new gasket for that as well, along with a set of screws. And these are Phillips heads, so that's pretty sweet, a little more convenient. But anyway, I'm going to get that going, and I'll show you guys what it's like. Okay guys, so here we go. So that's the box plug. So that installs on the bottom of the box. It comes with the bolts to do that as well. And it's for engine heat is what it is. And without it, you get a little more airflow. I'm not too concerned about the engine heat. Maybe during the summertime, I don't know. It's pretty easy to pull apart. So got that installed. Got the IAT plug installed. And yeah, oh, and I forgot to mention, the new hose clamps that come with the turbo, or come with this kit, excuse me, are, I believe, shoot, I just had one. They are, what did I do with it? Oh, here it is. They are 7mm. So anyway, there's that. So I'm going to get that snapped in here. I left this loose. You could see that down there. When you set this in, you want to be sure that you're setting that silicone adapter piece, that flange, up against the flange of the turbo that's right there. You don't want to have any gapping there. You want to be sure that's nice and seated against that. And so I tightened that down a little bit more, and I loosened up the one that's on the intake tube. But yeah, I'm going to get the box snapped in here. Shouldn't take very long, just a couple seconds. And then, yeah, show you what it looks like next. There we go. Okay, so I got that installed, got that piece shoved through the box, got that down there. I had to, that's why you want to leave it loose. I had to actually pull the bottom piece out to get it to slide into the box a little more. So here's the filter. It comes with the please stop read first. It talks about cleaning the filter. This is pre-oiled. They also have a dry filter, which is pretty sweet, in case you want to run one of those. And also if you're in a really filthy area, they also sell a pre-filter, which is like a really fine mesh that goes over the filter. So there's the hose clamp and it goes over that. And I'm going to loosen this. There's a little QR code on that too. What's really sweet is these filters are actually pretty cheap. I think they're $60. So if you want to have a dry filter also, you can do that. That way you don't have to sit and wait for this to dry, or you can have another one. Whatever the case may be, it's not a ridiculous price. But so got that installed over that. Everything's set. So you can see that's where you're also going to draw airflow from there, as well as if everything matches and everything in a perfect world, it actually pulls it through the fender well also. So after I install the filter, going to need to use this gasket, which goes onto this, and then we'll be installing the clear lid. So everything's going to go pretty smooth. I believe it's been pretty simple to shoot, including record time and then running back and forth into the garage, because I forgot I also needed a Phillips head screwdriver, and then also to find the right socket, which only took a couple seconds. But anyway, I'm looking at not even a half hour. I'm at 26 minutes right now, so that's pretty sweet. Pretty simple install. All right, here we go. All right, y'all. So I lied a little bit earlier. You'll have to forgive me. That socket for the hose clamps that come with this is 8mm, not 7. I forgot the 7 is what you need for the plug-in when you take the old one off. The new one has Phillips. So the easiest way, oh, and I got the gasket snapped onto this spot, and we're gonna snap in the lid here in just a second. But anywho, so for the filter, you kind of got to wiggle it in there. So what I did is I put the filter in with the bottom end down first, and then I pulled the intake tube back a little bit and then rocked it up. And then the filter is kind of an oblong, so it doesn't go completely sideways. It kind of kicks up at a little angle, or you could, yeah, it's pretty easy to tell anyway. So it's kind of kicked up at a slight angle. But anyway, got that in there. Got the hose clamp secured in there as well. Getting ready to put in the ring. And so here is the tube. You got to remove the protective film. It's going to be a nice clear cover that goes over this. I just wanted to show you this first. So that's the QR code. to have it loaded onto your phone if you want to look at it that way. Comes with a little sticker. But also what I really like is I'm probably going to put that sticker, I don't know, I might put it on the inside of the lid, kind of in the corner, or maybe I'll just install it right here. But what I like is they give you this, so it's the intake part kit. So there's a cotton cleanable, which is what I have, and it gives you the part number, and then it also gives you the part number for the dry disposable. So that is pretty sweet. I like that they do that. I think they've put a lot of engineering into this filter and this whole kit. I like it a lot. It all goes together pretty simple. And so we're looking at 38 minutes. So that's nothing for installing one of these. Got those secured down there. But yeah, I'm going to snap the lid on. I'm going to get it all plugged in. We'll take a look at it when it's all done. All right, also ran into a little bit of a difficulty. So on their website, I jumped on their website really quick to take a look. Well, the original Airbox has a gasket that goes around this, or you can put it around this, and then it's got a little flange, as you can see here, for those holes, and they're supposed to be bolts. Well, the newer ones, they snap into the ceiling. Man, this thing is so freaking tight. I'm not even joking. Slides under the box correctly. Everything goes really nice in there. Everything fits nice and snug. But then when you took, I don't know if they sent me the wrong lid or what, but what I am gonna do, because I got to drive this thing, and that factory one is so plugged, it's not even funny. I'm getting major turbo lag. It's just a old K&N. It's been on there for a long time. But if you look, this clear plastic lid lines up perfectly with the outer edge of the gasket. So that's not gonna fit. I mean, you could see it is perfect all the way around. So I'm just gonna, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna contact the company, but I got to drive this through the weekend, and it is the weekend. They're not open on the weekends. So what I am going to do is I am going to trim the edges of this all the way around. That's the only thing I can do, because I sure as all heck ain't putting that old one on or back on. And I'm not going to go buy a new filter to put in the old Airbox and etc. So that's one little hiccup, but you know what? I mean, stuff happens. I'm going to contact them and let them, and I'll just wait for them to see what they say. Maybe they'll send me a new plastic lid, one that doesn't have the holes in it or something. I don't know. So somebody didn't do their QCing is what I'm thinking, which is quality control. But anyway, that's it for the install. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Everything goes really smooth. I mean, 40 minutes, maybe. And that's because I was filming also, making you guys this video. So I am going to trim this up. I'm going to put it in there. And then, yeah, I'm going to go from there. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. And if they don't comply, if they don't respond, or they respond in any type of negative way, or whatever the case may be, I'll let you guys know. And yeah, I'll give you an update if they do. But anyway, like I said, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll get at you guys a little bit later. All right. Hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.